everybody, welcome to Lisa's Art Room. Today we're going to be working on the Colors of Fall Junk Journal. Y'all come in and say hi, let me know you're here. We're live on Facebook if you see the little red button at the top left. If not, you're catching a replay. I'm going to get you guys pulled up on my other device so I can see chat. Did it on the right page here. All right. Thanks for letting me know the volume is good, Dawn. I appreciate that. All right, so we're working in this. It's getting there. Just getting started, really, but hopefully we'll finish it fast. I don't know. We'll see. I made some colored lace. Look at it. It's so pretty. Look at all those colors. So I was busy dyeing lace. It all matches the colors of the journal. See? Like, that's the wrong way. See? It's like all the greens and the oranges. The closest I could get to orange with what I had anyway. My inks. I don't have an orange. I have a vivid red orange, but it's very red, almost pink. And so I added some transparent burnt sienna to it to get it to look a little more orange. But the cotton lace dyed a whole lot better than the polyester types, which I assume they look cotton, but they don't hold the dye quite the same as the actual like crocheted lace. It holds it a whole lot better. But they're pretty. So those are going to go on the edge of the pages here and there. I don't know where yet. I'll put them somewhere. So I thought that would be pretty. Hey, Lori. All right, I am going to go ahead and get this camera pulled up top so we can get started on this. So bear with me while I make the switch. I see Kiba just woke up. Oh my goodness. I'll have to let him out in a second. Let's see, are we straight? I think so. Okay. I'm just going to do that real quick because I know he's going to be scratching at the door. Let me set my mic right there. Come on. Maybe he won't pester us anymore. We'll see. We shall see. All right. So I found this tag. This was actually something I made last year. And for whatever reason, it never made it into my fall journal I made last year, which I actually still have, but I just went ahead and stuck it in here. It's got like, it has a transfer, a rub-on transfer, and then that's some paper behind. I think it's just behind some tissue paper. I did it a year ago, so I don't remember for sure, but that's what it looks like. It looks like I put it behind some tissue paper and decoupaged it on there. And then that's a stencil. So that. So I went ahead, I felt like they needed a little more to them. So I added a paper bag. And all I did was take your typical lunch style paper bag. I'll show you how I did it, but I added that in here. I already have the envelopes in here with the windows and such, but I just wanted a little more. So I added one to each, and we're going to decorate that today. I did some of them just to start them off, but one's completely not done. So I can show you in that. I think it's this one. Yeah. So this one hasn't had anything done to it yet. feels glued, and I don't know why. Okay. So at some point I glued this particular paper bag. I mean, it'll still work. It's just not gusseted on that side, which is bizarre. It must be when I started last year. This side's still gusseted. Huh. Interesting. Oh, well, we'll work with it. It doesn't really matter if it's got the gusset. Most of them have the gusset on them because that's the way it typically is. But at some point I must have glued this portion down and this portion down on that other one. So it's not gusseted. I don't know why. I made a writing board. I've done this several times. If you need to watch a tutorial on it, I can link it to you. I've got many of them. So I didn't want to do another one on live because it's basically stuck to a piece of chipboard and glued, and then I've been coating them lately with the micro glaze, the Distress micro glaze. I've been putting a coat of that, and then after that dries, I've been putting a coat of beeswax, just by rubbing beeswax on it. And I like the way it feels, and it's nice and waterproof. But it just feels nice, and it slides in and out of the pockets easy. So I did this. It's got a fox on one side and a pretty flower on the other. These are both Graphics Fairy images. So it can go there, or it can go in the side pocket. It'll fit either place. I just stuck it there so I wouldn't forget to show you. All right, so let's grab a lunch bag that hasn't been chopped up. I have a whole box of them somewhere here. All right, so let's see. Pharmacy bags and lunch bags. So these are just your typical lunch bags that you get from like Dollar Tree or grocery store or wherever. They're just your basic ones. You could also use a bag like this. It's just going to be a lot thicker. So I don't know that I would suggest it. You could also use a pharmacy bag. The gusset would be different, but I've done both, honestly. Alright, so we're just going to show you what's this lunch bag. If I put that there, I'm going to trip on it. Set it over there. So, just your typical lunch bag. Now, for this particular one that I'm doing today, I opened it up and chopped off the bottom. There is a project where you use just this bottom piece that I will be doing. Probably not today, but if you're doing that, then you would have just this piece, and so your pocket would be a little narrower. But if you wanted to get 2 projects out of a lunch bag, you could do that. For right now, I'm going to show you how I did the ones I did. So I just opened it up, and like I said, it's gusseted, so this is what I mean by the gusseted. But you just want to chop off that bottom piece. I'm trying to figure out how I folded it to do that. I think I just opened it up. That's what I did. Try to remember. I did it so long ago. Anyway, because you don't need this piece if you're not using this piece. If you're using it, then cut it the other way. But I just am wasting this piece. So I just get it to open as best I can without ripping past that point. You could use scissors or whatever. Which I might stick a pair of scissors in there or something if I can find them. See if I can get inside without poking into the other part. Usually it just comes right apart, but it's fighting me a little bit today. I just want to get this piece opened up without affecting the rest of the bag. Now, there may be an easy way to do it. I don't know. This is how I've been doing it. It seems to work. It's not the best way, I'm sure. But once you can kind of get it to open up, I guess what I might have done is squished it to where it folds outward. Maybe you can do that while it's in one piece. Maybe that's what I did. Probably what I did. So you fold that in, get all of this out. That's what I did last time. I'm remembering now. And then just chop that piece off, that triangle. That way you get the most bag. Otherwise, you end up with a shorter piece, but I'm trying to get the biggest piece I can get out of it. I'm going to put it on my grid so it's somewhat straight. Just line this up with the grid line and this top up with the grid line. Because the bag is most likely not square. They never are. And I'm going to chop off that excess as soon as I make sure I'm kind of sort of straight. That must be what I did. So you don't need to tear all that. I did it the hard way. Anyway, then you got basically an open channel, okay? And that's going to give you 2 pockets once you fold it in half. Now, I like to finish my edges so they're a little thicker. You don't have to, because you are going to be putting papers and stuff on top of it anyway. But I do like my edges to be nice and thick, because that way they're open and they're closed a bunch, and if they're not thick, they can sometimes rip, and it just gives that little bit of protection. Now, it does make it a little bit narrower, but it's not usually a big deal. When it's this big, it's usually too big anyway. I mean, it would fit to the very edge, but I'd rather it kind of be in a little bit, I think, than fitting all the way to the edge. That way, if I stick something out and it's got a little bit of a tab on it or something, it's not sticking out here. So what I do, like I said, optional, is I take it and I fold it like a 1/2 inch, if that. I usually fold it enough to get rid of this little circle. So it's about a 1/2 inch. Okay, I just want to get a line going. I'll do it on both sides. It doesn't have to be exact, because you won't see both ends of this together, because it'll be on different pages. So it doesn't really have to be exact. If you were putting it together, then I'd say, okay, put it exact. But then you've got a line, and all that line's going to do is it's going to give me a place to fold this in. Okay, so I'm going to go around, fold the whole thing in where I want it. If I can get it to go on the line. I didn't crease it enough. I should have used my bone folder. It's okay. It'll work. We're just going to go around, go around, go around until we get that all creased. Okay. And take your bone folder. Give it a nice crease, and then you're going to glue that. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm actually going to crease this one this time, because it didn't give me quite a strong enough fold. Open her up, fold her in. I just find folding it first before you start trying to glue it works a whole lot better. Pieces fighting me. Okay, I'll lay it down. Just make sure everything is flat. Okay, and all that's doing is reinforcing our edge, so that, you know, it's just less likely to tear. And then we're going to take our glue. I'm not going to do this whole one because I already did it. Well, maybe I did it. I don't know if I did or not. If not, I might use this one because that other one doesn't have the gusset. Not that I really care. This has got a little tear in it, so I'm just gluing that piece. But you just want to go around the whole thing. And I usually just do a section at a time because it's hard to see on camera, I know. But just try not to get the glue outside the part that folds over so it's not sticky or anything. It doesn't take much because it only needs to stay in place, you know, enough that it doesn't come open. So I'm just going to do this, and I'm sorry if you can't quite see. Go around that circle. But you can see how it's already ripping so easily. So that's why this is it's kind of a good step to do. I've seen a lot of people do these type of bag pockets, not exactly this one, but similar, and they never reinforce their edges, and I'm kind of like, how does that not rip over time? So it seems like it really would start just tearing. So once you get glue all the way around, just make sure it's stuck down. Make sure you didn't glue it closed or anything weird. If you missed any little spots, just a tiny little spot right there. All right, that's all reinforced. And did I do that? I'm gonna look and see if I did fold that edge in. I don't think I did because I think I wanted to show it to you. So I've got two that are done. I'm gonna move those aside because I'm gonna keep pulling them out. They're not done, but they're started because I will probably do the other two off camera. All right, yeah, I did not reinforce that. So we're just gonna replace it with this one, I think. So I'll just go ahead and glue this one all the way around. Seems how I did kind of close that pocket up, and I really didn't want to. I like the gusseted because it just, I don't know, it gives me a little more room. If you don't want it gusseted, then by all means fold up the edges, and you'll just have a normal flat pocket. It also depends, you know, maybe you don't want the temptation to get too bulky in the stuff that you're putting in your pocket, and therefore you might not want a gusseted pocket because, you know, temptation and all that. Got more room? Oh, let's put a whole bunch of stuff in there. Maybe not the best idea. This art glitter dries so fast, I try not to go too far around because it'll dry on me. Stand this up, it's a little bit easier. And one more piece. Let's see if I got it all. I think I let that dry on me. Try to get a tip in there. All right, that should be good. Like I said, it is going to get paper over it, so it will hold it down too. You don't have to be super, super picky about your glue. Okay, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit because I'm kind of far away. Hold on, plus it's blurring on me. Stay in focus, camera. This camera hates me. All right, so now you've got this piece and you've got reinforced edges. There's that little loose flap there. It's probably not a big deal because I'm going to put paper over it, but I am going to go ahead and hit it just to make sure it's down flat. So now I've got that, okay? And this is going to have paper over it too. If it bugs you, you can throw a little bit of glue in there. It does have that like loose flap there. So anywhere that, you know, it's not quite glued or anything, you can throw some glue in there. But usually it's not a big deal because you cover it. But maybe you're not going to cover yours. Maybe you're just going to leave the paper bag and put some stamps on it or something, which is perfectly fine. Maybe you're going to stencil on it. Maybe you're just going to throw a transfer on the brown. I don't know, you know. So if there's loose edges and you aren't going to cover it for sure, definitely glue them down. All right, good enough. Let's replace this one since it's closed. I don't know why it's closed. It must have been when I started. That's my guess. Because look, so I've got this piece is open, but this whole side from here is totally glued. It seems to only be on that last like 1.5 inches. Can't even open it. Yeah, I glued that whole part there, which just makes you have an opening that's just a flat opening, okay, and not a gusseted opening. That's the only difference. So you can glue it if you want. I prefer not to, really, I think most of the time. So we're going to put this here. It's going to go in this spot like this. We're going to take it back out to decorate it though. Okay, it's going to go in like that. It will be this page. So we're going to decorate it. You can pay attention to what you have next to it if you want, as far as what your decoration is going to be. We have, looks like just sunflower coffee dyed paper and some ledger paper. So I may or may not care if I match it or not. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So I don't want to use cardstock because it'll bulk it up too much. So I am going to use my thinner scrapbook papers, just so I don't bulk it too much. That way, you know, it's less bulky. So you just need just normal scrapbook papers that don't have a lot of weight to them. These are some magazine images, which I may or may not use. I just saw them and pulled them out. But all of these papers are from that one that I got from Hobby Lobby called Fall Sunflower. So we're going to use these. For the inside, or for either, but for the paper in here, I'm only going to cover here and here. If you want to cover this gusset, make sure that you leave a small gap between your pieces of paper right there where the fold is. Okay, otherwise it won't fold properly and lay flat. So you can cover it, you don't have to. I'm just going to cover the top and the bottom, and then we'll decorate these. So first I'm going to cover the inside of the pocket because I want to do that while I can open it. Don't try to do it after, it will be a pain. So do it while you can open it. So we got to pick out some paper. Now I already used some papers on the other two. Let me move these somewhere. Move my lace out of the way. So let's look at what I used on the other two and we'll try to pick something different. So on this one I used those sunflowers with the navy blue and the black and white checker sunflowers. And on this one I used the chicken and the truck and the flowers and wheat in like flower containers. Let's see if I can remember which ones those are. So what haven't I used? I don't think I've used that leaf one if I have any left. I haven't used this pumpkin one. I might use that. It does have sunflowers, which is nice because that page, like I said, has sunflowers on it. I don't like this. I'm not crazy about this lime. I don't know what is that color. It's not lime. It's, I don't know. It's this weird minty green. It's a weird green. I don't like it. I might use this. I know I have a plan for this on the outside of one. Could use this big old turkey. The inside ones, I don't mind if they've got a busy pattern that is just busy because it's just a pocket. So it doesn't really matter. So it's better for using for these types. The only thing you have to watch is keeping it the right direction. So we'll talk about that. This orange one, Don't think I said I used that one. I used the little one. Maybe we'll use these roosters. This is very farm-like. A lot of these in this particular set, it does have very much a farmhouse feel to it. I think I used it in my farmhouse journal, actually. So we'll use these. I'll use more later, but so what you want to do is measure what your bag is, because yours might not be the same as mine, but you want to measure it so that it fits just inside the brown area. You don't want it to be exactly to the edge, because you will never ever get it lined up when you're trying to put it in there with glue on it. It's very difficult, and just trust me. So figure out how big you want it. I think I did like 4.5. Yeah, mine is like 4.5 by about 5 1/16. Okay, the 4.5 is the across measurement. And I don't really need to go that deep, because you're not going to see that far into the pocket. So I think I'm just going to do 4. That way it doesn't have to be all the way in there, because some of it's going to be in the signature sewed in. So just do 4. That's plenty. And if I do 4, because this is an 8.5, I could do 4 1/4 and use exactly half of this page. So let's do that. And then we want to cut this way to the 5 1/16. So let's cut the 5 1/16 first, because this is the direction I'm going. Cut that first. So 5 1/16 for the length, approximately. You could go as much as 5 1/8 for this particular bag, but and then I'll save that piece. And then this one we're just going to do in half, which should be 4 1/4. 4 1/4, right? Yeah, because let me think. It's 4 1/8 or 4 1/4? 4 and 4 is 8, and then we need a 1/2 inch. So it should be 1/4. Doesn't look like half, but logically that's right. If I'm thinking if my brain is working properly, that should be half. Yes. Okay. My brain's working right. All right, so then we've got 2 pieces for one side. We still need the other side. So this is going to go in here, and you want to kind of make sure it'll fit. Make sure you didn't mess up. So check it first. And if it's fine, I've got a little bit of leeway, which is what I want. That's going to go on that side, and then you have to think about the other side. The other side will be the opposite, but straight. Okay? So what I like to do is take an arrow, mark an arrow on there. So this side of the bag goes up, and then this side of the bag, this goes up. Okay, so that I don't get turned around and forget which direction that paper needs to be. Okay, so we'll do one at a time. We open it up. What I find is really helpful is to throw something in there. It could be a roll of tape. It could be blocks of wood. I have tons of blocks of wood, so I'm just going to use blocks of wood. It's just going to help hold my bag open, so I don't fight with it. So I just stick that in there like so. And I'm going to put it to where I can see. Okay. Now I've got my arrow in there. I know you can't quite see, but it goes this way. Okay, you see the arrow? And so that's going to get glued in there. So what I'm going to do, first I want to make sure it fits, and I didn't mess up. It looks like it fits fine. I'm going to put some glue on the end. Okay, this is the end that's the furthest in the bag. I'm going to put a little bit of glue there. I've tried doing this all at once with just gluing the whole thing and shoving it in there. It's very hard to do it that way. You can do it, but it is very difficult. So your best bet is just to put a little bit of glue on the very end. It's going inside the bag. Okay, make sure your direction's right. And then push that in and line up your outside edge where you want it to hit. And then once you've got your outside edge, push that glue down, okay? And what that does is it just kind of loosely holds it in there until you can glue the rest of it. But I've got it like about a 1/16 of an inch from this edge. That's a good distance. It's not perfectly straight because I kind of messed up, but try to get it straight. It looks prettier if it's straight, but it's not a huge deal. Then I lift it up and put the rest of the glue in there. So I just go along the edge, because once that back is held, you can much more easily just put the rest of this glue down and work your way toward the front. You can do a little at a time if you feel better doing just a little, and then lift it up and do the rest. Okay, try not to get outside the edge of the paper because it might glue your bag closed. So I try to just be careful that I'm staying where I know it is. And like I said, it's about a 1/16 of an inch from this edge. I'm hoping you can see this some. It's very difficult to let you see this exactly. Okay, so once that's in there, I'll show you. So then we've got it like that. Okay, and it may wrinkle the other side of your bag. Don't worry about it. You're going to cover it anyway. Okay, and then if you want to fold it nice and flat and get it to lay down nicely, you can take your bone folder, just give it a little crease. You can take your bone folder inside, give it a little crease, whatever works. All right, now we got to do the other side. Turn it over. Throw my wood back in there so it stays open. It really does help having your bag stay open, guys. It really makes life easier. See, now my arrow, you see how it's facing this way now? So that reminds me that this one needs to go this way. Okay, so that's why I put that little arrow there. Just make sure my wood is far enough back I'm not going to hit it. I'm in the right direction. Glue's going here in the back, just enough to hold it in place. Usually about an inch is good. It's a good amount. And then push it in, and I try to line up the front without touching the back. Usually is not too hard to do. Usually you can line up the front and just try to make sure that it's at least not on your fold. That's the main thing. If it's on this fold, it won't close in. We want to make sure that it's not on our fold, and then glue the rest of it. So not too bad if you do it this way. I think it's a whole lot easier than trying to put glue on the whole thing and shoving it in the bag and hope for the best. 9 out of 10 times when I do it that way, it gets in the wrong spot and it's very crooked. So I think you'll find this much easier. Okay, and then just lay that down. And now we're just gonna make sure it's all glued nicely. And there we go. Our roosters are going the same direction. Okay, and then we have to remember that this is going in the journal this direction. Okay. So if you think you might get confused, go ahead and just throw an arrow on there somewhere. Okay, you can erase it later. All right, so now we got to do this side, and we want to go ahead and do the same thing. So let's put an arrow up, so I know that that's the way it goes. And for this side, we're going to put this turkey. Let me go ahead and cut it first. Close this glue up because it's going to be a second before I get to it. You know it's going to start drying out on me. So we want half, and then we want 5 1/16. So we'll cut off the 5 1/16 first. Save that piece. And this one is half, which we decided was 4 1/4. All right, so we got our 2 pieces. They should be the same. They are. And stick our blocks of wood back in there, just to make life easier. Open it up nice and big. Look at your arrow. Okay, my arrow is going that way. So I know for that piece, I want my turkey to be facing this direction, and I'm just going to slide this in here and make sure that this side of the bag is not different. You never know. So let's just make sure it actually fits first before we glue anything. And yeah, it looks fine. Glue on this end. Hey, Sandy. So a little bit of glue here, just to hold it in place. I do try not to go too close to my edges so that it doesn't glue it down until I'm ready. And then line up our outside edge. And I'm just trying to make sure that it's straight on that edge and it's not touching the sides. And then I push it in, push the glue in the back. Okay, so nice and straight through here. All right, then we can add the rest of our glue. Try not to get outside my edge. And usually I have about anywhere from a 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch on the sides, so don't go so close that you're, you know, gonna glue it shut. So I do the edges first and then I get the middle. All right, so there's that side. Let's flip it over. Arrow's going this way now. Okay, so we want our turkeys to go that way. I wish I could angle it, but I can't, so I apologize. Okay, so that's the right direction. Put our glue here. All right. Line up this edge with the front of the bag. About a 1/16 usually. And that's assuming that your fold's absolutely straight, which honestly it rarely is, but it's close. Okay, so it'll be like that. Lift it up and throw the rest of my glue down. It is just a cover. It's not like it has to be glued like 100% perfect. Just enough it stays in place. I would not suggest trying to do this with glue stick. It tends to make your paper curve too much, and you can't line it up. All right, so now we've got all of those glued. Can make sure everything is nice and flat. Double check our directions. Everything seems fine. Roosters are fine. So we have 2 pockets like that. All right. And you could leave them like that. You could put a notch. You could put a closure if you want. There's lots of things you can do. If you're going to do a closure, you could put a little tie thing on one side, tie thing on the other side, flip it around. You could glue a magnet in there if you really wanted to, but it's going to add a little more bulk. My magnets they're thin, but they're not super thin. Usually, I don't think I usually close it at all, but I might close one just to see what it does, how it looks. So now we got to decide what we want to put on the outside. Okay, so you can get, if you're going to put something decorative over the top of it, you might want to go with a paper that is relatively plain. Like this one with the writing on it, or one of the plaids, something like that. You don't, like I said, you don't have to put anything on it. You can leave it like it is and stamp it, or put a transfer on it, or whatever. I want to see what these papers look like. It's not terrible. I wasn't sure if it would work for the bag. It's actually not too bad. So I might use half of that. I'm not sure which half. Maybe I'll do that on one of them. I also have these like leaves. This one says, I am rich today with autumn's gold. Gladys Harp. I wouldn't be able to get the sun if I got the saying. Or I could do the sun and not the saying and just move it over a little bit. I think I like the saying. I might use them. These are just magazine images that I found. Probably in my, is it Mother Nature? What is that journal I get? That magazine I get? Mother Earth News? Maybe. I can't remember. I think that's what it is. Other than that, let's see what I have. I have some Fall Bounty stuff. So Fall Bounty, let's put my glue back together before it dries out on me. Probably starting to dry already, so I'm going to give it a wipe. Alright, Fall Bounty. This is a digital I got off of Etsy from the Junk Journal Studio. It's called Fall Bounty Kit 3. This isn't all of it. This is just what I happen to have printed out already. It's got some really cute stuff on it, though. Let's see if any of these fit. Well, this is a pocket, but you could totally put a pocket on the front as well. You'd have a pocket there and then a pocket on the side. So that's a possibility. It does fit. I think that's probably too big. Yeah, that's too wide. Now, I can print these smaller, but this is what I've printed, so we have to work with what I've printed. Cute. That's like a tag pocket. Any of these could be put inside as well if they fit. I think this would be a good option for maybe putting inside or something. It's like an envelope. Turn it into like a little pocket too. So that's what I have with some of her stuff. I need to print out more. I just haven't had time. I don't think I have any others printed. And then I have some of my stuff and some graphics fairy stuff. Let's see what I have here. This is actually one of my stencil projects that I did. I'm going to use it somewhere. I don't know where yet. It doesn't fit here. This is from Charm Studio. Charm Studio Country Life Junk Journal Kit 2. She had a little bit of like farmhouse ones that had a fall feel to them. I have a few of those. This is Graphics Fairy. This is mine. Could fit that on there. It's one of my paintings. That's Graphics Fairy. It's too big. Squirrel's kind of cute. Another one of my paintings. It's a little big, but it could go inside. Found this little guy. This is a Graphics Fairy. He's cute. He's holding a pumpkin. He's a fraction big, but I could possibly just cut the edges down. Maybe. I knew I should have printed more sizes. Also Graphics Fairy. Mine. This is a painting I did on a little piece of wood. And this is just a piece of it that I turned into a pocket. I think I gave it away to my subscribers last year. I can't really remember now, but I think that's what I did. All right, so I'm leaning toward these. I do kind of like that, but it's not going to go with the sunflowers, but it might work on one of the others. I think those will go better with the colors on the sunflowers and stuff. So that's what I'm leaning toward. And this is also a Fall Bounty, I think. Yeah, that's a Fall Bounty. I've got stickers here and there. And then, of course, we have the transfers from Essential Stencil that are very cute, too. I might put a transfer on top of one of them, on top of this, because I just think it's going to look cute. So I might do that. And then the other one is, I like this paper on it. Which one's this sunflower? It's this one, right? Keep it there. So we've got sunflower on that side, and then we have just like ledger paper on that side. Yeah. I think these will go well with the sunflower for sure. I do have the others started. I might use that on the inside. Let's start with this front. So I'm just going to think about which I think looks good. I kind of like the idea of doing a pocket with this. So I think I'm going to do that. And then maybe put the owl in. I don't know if the owl's big enough. Let's see. The owl's a little bit on the short side. I might make the pocket a little shorter, which I could. It's a little tall. I might do that. What else do I have that I could put in the pocket? If not the owl. If not the owl, I've got power stamping. That's the wrong direction. That would be good for inside, maybe. I did have that one too that I could turn into a pocket. Maybe I'll do that on the other side. Wrong direction. What about this corn? Is that a good size? It doesn't matter if it sticks out because it's going to be in the middle of the journal, so to speak. So it doesn't have to be exactly that size. Apple I don't like. Oh, I like this one. Maybe this one. I think I'll make this a little bit shorter. I like this one and I like this one, but this one's a little bit bigger, so. Mushrooms are cute too. So many. There's too many. Too many to choose from. This is coffee dyed paper, and I have a feeling I'm not going to get that circle out of it. So I'm going to back this before I try to cut that circle. Because if I don't, I have a feeling I'll have an issue. So I'm going to find me a piece of scrap cardstock. Kind of scrap. We'll call it scrap. It's not really, but... And I'm going to use that. I'm just sandwiching it. It's a little too small. Sandwiching it behind it so that it gives it a little more support when you're cutting your circle, because it helps it to not just bend and not cut out. It's quite frustrating when that happens. All right, so this has a little bit of a gusset. I think I'll leave the gusset. And by that, I mean this edge here is meant to be folded over. So it's got like this little mitered edge. Just cut that off. That off. It needs inked. I didn't cut it out perfectly well, so I'm going to get that little edge there. It's mitered. Hit it in the right spot. And this is mitered. I'm not worried about that per se, although it might affect the way the gusset lays. So let's trim it. It's got like a good 1/16 of an inch there. See if I can do it with my scissors. Yeah. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just fold these over. You could score it if you want, but I don't think it's necessary. I'm just going to fold them. I might do a transfer on the other side, so I'm thinking I'm going to put the transfer on the paper before I put it on, because it'll be, this is kind of bumpy. I don't know how well a transfer would do going on that bumpy surface, so I'm going to probably put it on the paper and then glue the paper. And that should solve. Oh, I was going to cut this shorter. Let's do that before I should have changed the gusset. Hold on. I just wanted a little bit. Oh, I'm never going to get that straight. Let me just use I should have used the cutter, but I'll just use my ruler. I just wanted it a tad shorter. It's a little taller than I wanted. So we're going to just chop off some. Is that straight? I think that's straight. I'll just re-gusset it. So all it is just a little, kind of like a V almost. Try to get about the same distance, approximately. Now it's a little bit shorter. Now, when it's got a flap like that overlaps, put that flap on the outside of these two, and you'll be less likely for your tag to snag when it goes in, okay? Because your tag's going to go in like this. But if this was on the inside, like that, what tends to happen is your tag gets right there and it just hits. So put these on the outside. Okay. All right, let's grab our pocket. Just make sure I'm in the right direction. I'm going to ink that real quick, just a little bit, so I can find my ink. Just going to use some vintage photo. Ink. You can ink your bag too if you want. We'll see what it looks like. I might ink it up just a little bit because it is going to show a lot. If you're worried about it, you know, not looking as good, I think it looks a little better when it's inked. So we'll give it a little bit of ink. Now, I didn't put a little notch here. I could, but I don't think I'm gonna, because I'm not sure what I'm gonna do if I'm gonna do a closure, and I don't think I want to put a notch there. I'll go ahead and ink this other side. I wasn't gonna, but I better do it. Might as well just do it. chances are I'll forget and all that. So let's just go ahead and do it while I got the ink out. I'm not doing a perfect job. I don't really care. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's junk journaling, guys. Don't be like me and be overly OCD about it. You'll never get anything done. That's what I typically do. I'm so OCD about it, I don't get much done. I think I got all the sides. Corner here. Let's see. Did I get them all? I think so. All right. We got that. We need our tag. I got to back the tag first, so I'll have to get that back out again in a second. All right. Let's make sure we're in the right direction. Nope. I knew we turned. All right. Turkey. We're going to put it on the turkey side. All right. So I'm going to put this pocket here. That's going to be cute. And I could put something there. I don't know. So this tag's going to go like that. It's a good height. I like it. Right, so we're going to put glue on our little gusset. Don't glue the inside of the envelope or it'll stick together and then you'll have issues. Do try to get as close to this edge as you can though, because it'll help it not to snag. Sometimes I will lay a little bit of acetate in there if I'm real worried about it, just to make sure I didn't accidentally close it. I try to keep pieces of acetate. This one's too big. Let's see if I have one. There's one. Did that one fit? No. None of them are fitting. Here, we'll just use my ruler for a second just to make sure I didn't close it up. Yeah, I think we're good. All right. Okay. So that's going to go there. And then we want this here. So what else can we put on there? Let's see. I have some leaf stickers. What do we got? We got these from the Dollar Tree. And these. Maybe one or two of these would look pretty. Just a couple. I wonder how sticky they are. Can't tell. They feel pretty sticky. I'm going to put just a little bit of glue, like in a couple of spots, on the tips, I think, just in case. If I can do it without dropping it. Just in case it's not super sticky. And then I'm just going to add these. I think I'm going to add it. And maybe we'll do it here. I don't want it to snag, so we'll try there. It should lay flat, but just in case. That's pretty. All right, how about this one lost its tail, I think. Looks like it had a tail or something at one point. I can't tell for sure. Maybe it didn't. But I'm just going to put a couple of dots of glue. This is kind of like my, it's backup, just in case it doesn't hold well. They feel relatively sticky though. You never know. That's not bad. Should put one more. I could put one of these down here. Maybe this maple. Let's do this little maple. I can get it off of there. Let go. grab a hold of it. A couple little drops of glue. Right, we're going to put this right here. I'm going to go over the edge. Cute. Okay, there. Now it's not just so plain and boring, and it matches this very well. So we're going to back this because it's a little, yeah, it's just flimsy. It's nothing to it. So let's back it with something. This is going to take me so much longer than I wanted. What shall I back it with? What I got? Nope. Well, let's see. I'm sure I have just some solid paper somewhere. Let me grab my cardstock that I have already used for this project, if I can find it. That's Halloween. Where's the one I already used for this project? Backdrop, backdrop. Nope, 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 nope. I have it somewhere. There it is. I should be able to find a color in here. I hope. If not, I'll just use regular paper. That green's not bad. I was kind of wanting something you could write on though. So I'll see if any of these are plain enough. If not, I might just use a solid piece. I don't know if I like that green. I think I'm just going to use a solid piece because I'm not seeing anything. Alright, what do we got solid wise? Got some browns. Craft paper. Maybe just some craft paper today. I have a bunch of that, so. And I'll kind of stick with that feeling. I don't want to go too wide because I want it to fit in the pocket, so I think I'm just going to try to make about a 1/16 or 1/8 of an inch approximately. About there. Let's try that. If I had like a yellow or something, I might have used a yellow, but I don't have a yellow cardstock, I don't think. Alright, so back that. Should I ink it? Sure. Just a little bit. Mostly because my cutting's not perfect and I've got a little bit of a white edge there. It won't show that much, but it will take away that white edge. We'll ink that after I do it. All right, let's glue this on. Y'all staying in focus? I'm trying to watch. Hey, Nancy. Oh, it's not Nancy, it's Natalie. Deb's watching. Chris Miller's watching. I got a few people watching. I don't know if they're still on. It says I only have 4 now. I never have many viewers this late. Y'all tend to catch replays, which is fine. I like doing the live because the lives for me are easier to upload. Honestly, that is the main reason. I do like talking with y'all, but a lot of times y'all are quiet and don't talk to me, so. But it is a whole lot easier than trying to upload a straight up video. If I just did this on a video and tried to upload it, my phone, for whatever reason, will just, it'll fail. It just fails at the upload and fails at the upload, and I get frustrated. But the live ones I don't have any issue with. I can just upload those fine. So make sure that's going to fit. Yep. So So that's why I don't get too upset that I don't have a ton of viewers on here when I'm doing my lives. Plus I'm a night owl, so I'm always on super late. All right, there. Let's do the back too. Give it a little something. A little bit of something. It just looks nicer. I mean, if y'all don't ink, I mean, just look at the difference. So there's the ink side, and there's the plain side. It just gives it a little more, I don't know, it gives it more warmth and just a natural feel to it. Like it's slightly aged and all that. That's why I like to ink. I know some people don't like to ink, but I like it. All right, there, that's cute. All right, so there's that. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to fill these pockets yet today because I don't know what I'm going to put in them. Honestly, it may just be, you know, some backed pieces. You know, maybe I'll find some more ephemera as I go through my stuff. But for right now, they're just going to be pockets. And maybe it'll be for the person who gets the journal to put whatever they want in there, a bunch of photos or whatever. I'm only worried about decorating. So we're going to do a transfer. I'm not sure I'm going to do the inside too. I'm going to do this side. I think, I don't know, do I want to do this side? I'm debating on which side I want the transfer on. Let's see. This is the right one, right? Yeah. Okay, so this is going to go like this. If I can open it. It's going to go like that. That's going to look pretty. Looks good with those colors, I think. So it'll fit like that. And like I said, I don't know that it really needs a closure. If I want to put a closure, I've got those little circle-y things. I don't know what you call them. There's a name for them. You know me, can't remember names. Let's see if I can find them. I went through like 5 billion boxes and moved everything. So now I can't find nothing. Pre-made closures. That's the one. Alright, let's see if any of these will work. What do we got in our pre-made closures? Anything? Couple of circles. Are they too big, too little? Since I made these, I did get a smaller hole punch. At the time I made these, I did not have a small hole punch. I only had a big hole punch. If I didn't glue that edge, see, they're so big. I've got these kind that work on the side, but they don't. I don't think they would work on this because I think they're also too wide. If I put it on this side that I don't have decorated yet, and then I glued. Yeah, it's still too big. Do you have anything smaller? All right, I don't have any made smaller. Like I said, I got a hole punch later that was smaller, so I'll probably just have to make one. They're not super hard to make, but it's better if you have it made already. So these two sizes are best. Let's try to make some. We could just use, gosh, do you think I can find haberdashery? Probably not. Haberdashery, I know, is thick paper, if I can find it. Is this it? Woohoo! Woohoo! Yay! Haberdashery is craft paper, and it's nice and thick. So, if I can find a piece that I think will work. This just has like letters. That's probably a good choice. Yeah, let's do that. I'm trying to keep it, you know, relatively simple. All right, let's start. Just do 1, 2. Let's do this in the same. 1. Try not to use all of my paper. Right, little, big, little. I need a little. 2. All right, and then we need a brad. Whew, melting, guys. I think I had these. Are they doubled? No, they're not doubled. Amazing. All right, I'm trying for my pen. Oh, there it is. I found it. Before this dries out on me. Okay, brad. I have the teeny tiny brads somewhere. I don't know where they are though, so we'll use a normal, well, it's still kind of small. Got a copper. Let's use copper. 2 coppers. Come on. I think this will work. I think it's going to be small enough. And then we need our hole punch. Well, honestly, I don't need a hole punch. I just need an awl. The hole punch will be a little extreme. Let's just use the awl. And then I need my circle middle finder. Actually, I don't know if I have one for that. I might. I made a circle middle finder thingy because I always have issues finding the center. Let's see if I can find it. Gosh, too many things to find, guys. I think it should be in a big one. Tiny brads, fixtures. Not there. Not there. I took them out the other day. Y'all remember? I took them out and I took the I took the clips off of them. There they are. I found them. I pulled the clips off of them. I don't know if y'all remember. I had these little clips and I needed them for sewing. So these are my circle middle finders. I know that's not really a name, but that's what I call them. These are things that I have. They're templates for all of these. And I've laid them on my grid and found the center. So then all I have to do is take my pieces, put my template on it, and poke the hole in the right spot without having to sit here and hope I get it in the right spot. Because that's usually the biggest problem, is I don't get it in the right spot and then they don't really line up and they look bad. You think that's big enough? Let me look at this brad. That should be big enough. We'll do it a fraction bigger. So that's the center for those two. And then this one is the 1 inch. So we got the 1 inch and the 3/4 inch. I don't have a 1/2 inch, but I do have a 1 and a 3/4. So then you lay those down, find your center. But yeah, having a little center template is very handy. It will just save you a lot of time and aggravation. And then usually I keep those clipped with my little sewing clip thingy, but this is fine. Okay. I don't know where the box went. Wow. Lost it already. Okay. So you take one of each, lay it on top, put your brad through, and fold your little tails over. And then you have a little closure. And I know these are very kind of boring and simple, but that's fine for this project, I think. Okay, and then we're going to glue those. One here and then one here, and then we'll use string. That's a much better size for this bag. I might not get to decorating the, it's only 10:15. It feels much later. I think it's because of the time change. It feels so late. So I'm gonna try to flatten that a little bit better. I don't want it super tight. Don't make it so tight you can't get a string in there. But I do want it flat. I'm trying to find a tool. What do I have? My 5-in-1, that'll work. I'm just trying to kind of flatten down those little legs. Make sure they're nice and flat for gluing. But not so tight that I can't get a string in there. That's kind of the catcher. Gotta be able to get a string in there. Okay, I think we'll be okay. I'm just going to use my fingers. Oh, maybe. It's hard to flatten. It's hard to flatten without getting it too tight. We don't want it too tight. All right. A 5-in-1 back in there, maybe. All right, let's glue this one down. Somewhere right on the edge here. We're going to try to kind of sort of guess the middle. I don't know. I don't really care if it hits this pocket a little bit. I think I have room, but I am going to make sure there's not a ton of glue there. We'll kind of leave that because it is hitting there a little bit. I'm going to make sure there's no glue right there. Just worry about that since I have that in the way a little bit. And this goes on the other side. The only thing you want to do is try to make sure it's kind of sort of lined up. This one we don't have anything to worry about because we haven't decorated it yet. I'll decorate it later, I guess, because I don't know what I'm going to put there. Let's see. I'll try to line it up approximately. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but it is a little bulky because I've got those two heads in the same spot. So that's a thought. If you don't want it to be that bulky, there's a thought. Okay, here's my issue. If I put it exactly where that is, both heads of that brad are right in the same spot, which means I have double the bulk. So what I need to do is make it moved over. Or I could just glue it flat and not have the brad. Use that on the another one. And just this part have a flat string. Because I don't want the double brad. Or I could bring it all the way in here, but then I lose a lot of decorating area. So I think what I will do is just put the string here with something else. I think that's the most logical thing. So I'm just going to unsticky that a little bit and I'll save it for later. So let's just glue that down with something cute. Could just be a circle or anything, honestly. What do I got? I probably have it. I have some tiny ephemera. Let me see if I can find it. Where'd you put it? It is the Fall Bounty one. We have some little things. So we've got these birds. That's cute. Might use those. But yeah, she has a lot of ones that I printed out real small. So perfect for something like that. So let's just use those little birds. They're cute. I like them. Color matches. Debating if I want to give it any more substance. Maybe just a tiny bit, kind of hidden. If I can find a piece of cardstock. I don't want to lose this stamped edge, so I'm just going to go inside. So about, I'm just kind of double out how far I want to go. It's just to give me a little bit of strength for my string. Don't cut my finger. So I just want it to fit inside there. That's just, I'm going to sandwich the string in there, I think, and I think that'll work. I think. It should. So let's find a string. I do have some floss now. I bought some. Where to put it? It's in a little container. There it is. I don't usually have embroidery floss, but I did buy some. Let's see if we got a color that looks good. We got green, orange, red, or black. I don't know. It's 1/2 dozen the other. I assume this will work. I haven't really tried to use embroidery floss. I also have this yarn. The yarn's a little thicker. I don't even know how you open embroidery floss, guys. I'm sure there is a way to do it so that you don't make a mess of it, because you know I'm going to make a mess of it. But I don't know what that way is. I only need a little piece. I'll never get it back on that, so I don't know what to do with it. Like I said, I've not used it, so. Okay, here's our string. I'm going to tie this in a knot just so it doesn't unravel, because it will probably unravel on me. And this one's going to get tied around here, which I think I'll do a slip knot. So slip knot, you wrap around, and then this little bit here goes through. Okay, it forms like a little loop. I'm going to put that little loop. I assume it will work. I know it's got like pieces, but it should work. So I want the string on the other side, yeah. No. No. I want it to wrap on this side. Okay. I'm not thinking correctly, guys. Nope, we don't want that. We just want to glue this to this. So what do you think the chances are this is going to stay? It's probably slim. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold it like that. Here, we'll put it on this hard one. We're going to fold it like that, and we're going to put a little bit of masking tape. First, I'm going to put some glue to hold it in place. And then what I'll do is I'll take, if I take a little piece of masking tape, I'm trying to make sure the string doesn't get pulled loose. That's my main concern. So if I do it like that, and then pull that around on that side, just gonna kind of, it'll be glued together in a second, but I have no idea how this floss will do. It may unravel, it may be weird, I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. So then the birdie is going to go, I want it to where it is pulling the other way so it doesn't pull loose. The idea is that that fold will help it not to pull. So I want it this way. And then I want the birdie on top of it that way. So I think this way. I want it in between there, I think. I could either put it in between or I could put it under. Maybe it's safer under. And then we'll cover it with the birdie. Let's do that. I don't know which way is better to hold it better. I really don't know. I'm guessing. I'm going to try to get approximately where that is. Let me look at it. It looks about right. Don't know what we're going to do with this side yet, but I'll put something here. Oh, I should have come over a little further. I'm okay. And we'll put this over just to cover it so it's pretty. This is taking way too long. Oh well. It is what it is, right? Little birdie on there. My edge isn't down. Hold on. Didn't get enough glue to the edge there. Okay, feels strong. So then, should be able to pull your string around after you put your stuff in there. Assuming I got this loose enough. I'll lift it just slightly. String it around. We're going to do like, we'll do 2. And I'm going to actually cut it off. It's a little too long. Way more than I needed. I could put a charm there. Do I have a charm made? I did see a container of charms. Where are they? I might have one. I had made some last year. Let me see if I can find them. Goodness gracious, my table is a disaster, guys. Charms, charms, charms. Charms. All right, these are some charms I attempted to make last year with the, this is just packaging from the transfer from Essential Stencil, but it had little pieces, so I had cut some out, and some of them are pieces of fabric that I have glue on. Like these little sunflowers, this will work. These little sunflowers, I think I have 2 of these floating around. Well, maybe paper ones. Little wooden pieces. Is that got paper on the back? Yeah. Try to find 2 sunflowers. There's 2. That'll work. We'll do sunflowers. I need to make some more up. I haven't made them. I cut the pieces out, and then sometimes I put that glossy accents on it. These 2 have the glossy accents on them. I don't know if you can see it, but it's very shiny. See if you can see. They're paper, but they've got glossy accents on them, so they're a little more stable. And then what you do is you find your string where you want to stick them. So we're going to stick it right there. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I can just trim it after. It doesn't really matter. And we're going to glue it together. Where's my tweezers? That would be very helpful. Now, they probably won't line up perfectly, and I can just ink it. Because it's probably going to have a little bit of white show through. Hey, Deborah. See if I can get that stick. Just having a charm, it really helps it to, honestly, it's easier to pick up the string and be functional and all that. And once you get it to stick, you can cut the excess. And then, see how it's got the white edges? I assume you can see. I know it's hard because I'm not super zoomed in, but see how it's got those white edges? So I can either ink it with a Sharpie, or I can trim it if I'm careful, but usually it's just easier just to ink it. I might trim it a little. I just gotta not cut my string. Try to trim it just a little. So this is a lot right now. Stay away from my string. There. It's a little bit better. Where's my ink? Here, we'll just use a Sharpie because I can do that quick. Should work. Since it's black. It might come off on my fingers at first. Possibly. You could use a Posca pen too. There, I think that's good. Do I have it all over me? Nope, not too bad. All right, there. So now we got a little string. So throw all of our stuff in there, whatever it might be. A bunch of stuff in there. We're not gonna put anything in there right now, but and then circle around our little circle thingy, and we got a little tag. Okay, cute. Okay, so that's our closure. So that's how we'll do that. That'll work fine. I don't know if I might decorate anymore tonight. That's on there for right now. I might have more later. I should put these charms back where they go because I'm going to lose them. And what time is it? 10:30. Could I do one more? I would love to do the transfer I wanted to do. I'm going to try. All right, I'm going to try to put a transfer there. So let's see, where could I set this? Maybe here. All right, first I want to get my paper. I'm just going to pull this out. And I want it to be the right size. So I'm just going to cut it about there. It should be fairly fast because it's just gluing and one transfer. Paper. Give me another piece maybe for somewhere else. Put this lid back on real quick. Nope, too much glue. Okay. Fingers are yucky. All right. Should I ink it? Probably. Let me find the transfers. So I know they're sold out. Don't get mad at me. But they're super cute. I have to use them. All right. Which one do I want to use? Maybe those pumpkins. Talks about harvest mostly. Pumpkin season, hand-picked fall blast greetings. Thanks. Yeah. Maybe this one. This aside. Okay. My surface is kind of, it's very warpy. I'm gonna try this. This is just a gator board. I think this will be cute. Somewhat straight. These rub-on transfers are $5. Essential Stencil. I'll put the link after I'm done in my description on my YouTube if you guys want to purchase anything. I am an ambassador. If you use my code ARTROOM, you get 10% off. This one's sold out right now, but they do have others to choose from that are pretty too, and they have stencils and all kinds of things. So I'm not doing this on my Stencil Sunday because it is sold out. I have like 4 things I want to do with these. I bought this set purposely for this journal. And then of course it sold out, so you know how that goes. Try to make sure it's stuck before I start peeling. I need my wood thing. I don't like the plastic one. I have just a piece of wood that I call my transfer stick. Usually just get a little bit better grip with it. Is it gonna come off? Can't tell if it's releasing or not. Sometimes paper can be iffy. Rub harder. Are you releasing? Yeah, I think so. Stem. It should all be stuck, but just kind of going slow. Okay, there. All good. Pretty. Isn't it pretty? So pretty. I really like this set. It's a pretty set. All right, which way was up? That's up. Okay. And this. Roosters. And we're going to put it here. I think I'll ink it too. Ink it before I lay it down. There's like a little teeny little spot right there. It's bugging me. My guillotine, that last inch that comes down just does not want to cut. And it keeps just tearing my paper on that last little bit. Now, I put the transfer on here before I glued it down just because it's easier to do it on the surface if it's nice and flat. And this is real bumpy, so. And then I can just glue the whole piece down. Just double check my direction. Here, I don't know where it is. I'll never find it in this mess. I have a white pencil somewhere, but I don't see it. What color is that? Here. I'm just going to make a real light mark because I keep getting turned around. This paper's a little thin, but I don't think I'll have any issue with the glue showing too much. It might possibly buckle a little, but there. So that is the other side. So just a simple way to do that side. Lost my pen. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, we got one done. Kinda. We didn't get the middle done, but I'll do something with it later. And then I'll have to decide about a pocket on, you know, a twisty thingy on this side too, which I might put this, or I might just not do one on this side, because this will cover up some of it. It's not a big deal. If I thought about it, I could have moved it over a little bit, but I may just not close that side or do something else. I don't know. It doesn't have to be closed. It could just be a pocket. This side's closed. So that goes in right here. And that will go there. All right, so there's that little journaling spot and our pocket, which has nothing in it right now. And then the other side, I have to put something here and decide if we want to cover that. So should I put a closure of some sort? I could just put something long for the closure to tape to that side. Like a little piece of something. I don't like that. What else do you got? I have those stickers floating around here somewhere. I've lost the whole pack. I was going to do these leaves. I could do these here. I do like them. I'm not sure if I want them in the other book because, or the other page signature pages, because I feel like the colors might be better. Let me look at where I've got them stuck. I may have them all absolutely the same spot, which means they'll all be next to a ledger page. So that's next to a ledger page too, but and then brown on one side. So that one's pretty much plain too, and then this one is the same thing. So they're all in pretty much the same kind of spot. So color-wise, at this point, it doesn't matter. I could just glue this on here, because it is pretty. What's on the other side? I don't think I like it there, but I think it would be all right here, maybe with just this part of it. The question is, do I want to keep the mountains? Maybe cut those mountains off, the skyline darker mountains, or do I want to do this section? I like both, but without all of the mountains in the sky, it's kind of confusing as to what it is. There's a little dock and a person down here, which I kind of like. So I think I'm going to put it on this side. And we'll get rid of this part. I'm debating if I want to tear this edge though. Right now it's just straight where everything else is torn. So let's just go ahead and stick it on there because I think it'll look cute. All right, I'll find my tear ruler. See if I can do it. It's very thin, so I just need to take off a fraction. Not sure if I can do it or not. We'll try. Just, oh, try it again. The table might be too curved. There, I got it. I just wanted it torn. And then for distance, we've got right approximately here. So about right there. Make sure. And I'm just going to get rid of the mountain part. Picture had like a huge like sky and all that, so I lost all of that when I pulled it apart. I'm going to ink it just to blend that in. So there's no white showing. I'll cover this so I don't care because I'm going to cover it. Otherwise I'd lay down a piece of paper or something. That'll be fine. It may get a word or something. I don't know at this point. Now, this is very flimsy, so it really needs to be a glue stick. So let me get my glue stick thingy. And glue stick. I'm using a Tombow. I would either use Tombow, Mono, Permanent, or the Scotch one, or the Uhu. Of the brands out there, they are the better ones. These glue sticks are not all created equal for sure. This had an article about Stanley in it, this magazine. I actually saved the article, it's somewhere. I hate the way these always curve. It's going to curl up on itself and I'll never get it undone. It's like, I know it's going to do it. Just got to fight it. Oh my gosh. And I get glue all over my fingers. Let's see if I can get glue off my fingers there. All right. Try to get this on here without it curling. About there. That's pretty. Okay. So much glue. Okay. Let me look at my stickers and see if I have a label. I have a whole ton of labels. Something might look good there. So this goes here. I was like, where'd the rest of it go? There it is. Is that the right way? Yes. Okay. So that goes like that. That's not bad. I don't know what we'll do for closure. Like I said, I may not put one. I may just leave it. Because it covers up so much. If I don't want to cover up too much, I might just leave it. You could always use a paper clip. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Focus. Camera, seriously. Are you focused? I can't tell. I'm waiting. Okay. I think it's focused. Alright. What did I say I was looking for? Oh, labels. Lost my train of thought. Worrying about focusing. Fall labels. What do we got? Autumn leaves and pumpkins, please. Hello, autumn. That's a good one. My favorite color is autumn. That's a good one. These are mine. These are Fall Bounties. I don't think hers has a lot of savings. And these dictionary ones are somebody else's that I don't know. I can't remember. I've got it written somewhere. I'll figure it out later. I don't think we're going to use them today, so I think I'm going to use one of mine. Warm tea and falling leaves. I think I love fall most of all. My favorite color is autumn. I like it because of the color, I think. So let's see, what colors do we have? We have a beige, which might be too boring. We have a green. No, too big. Oh, these might be all too big. Yellow. They're all so big. Do I not have smaller ones printed? Probably not. I'll look, but I don't know if I do. What else? Hello, autumn. Are these all? They're all big. I don't want to cover the trees. I like the sayings, but I don't want to cover the trees. What about a vertical one? Do I have a vertical one that works? I have falling leaves. I have bounty. Bountiful, harvest. Hello, autumn. Let's see. Hello, autumn. It's not terrible. I don't really care. I gotta watch the signature though. I have to make sure it's over enough if I put it there. I don't think I want it there. Could possibly put it there. If I wanted to go vertical, I have that and I have falling leaves. I think that's the two I have that way. It would make sense. And then harvest, gather, foliage. I have foliage, but that's kind of boring. I have autumn. I don't like the colors. Bountiful, fall colors. Here's the fall colors. Green. Nah, too bright. Brown. Yellow. I could tone it down with some orange. Maybe. I thought I printed some oranges. I guess I didn't. I can't remember what I print from one day to the next. What else do we have? Harvest Festival, Fueled by Coffee, Hello Autumn. Hello Autumn. It's kind of small. Hello, I think I love fall most of all. Woodland. Maybe. I'm debating if I want to go over the trees a little. I've got Hello Autumn, or I think I love fall most of all. I think Hello Autumn makes more sense with the trees. So I could do Hello Autumn. That's the closest to the color I have. Other than these, maybe. Which I also have Hello Autumn, but it would be vertical. What do you think? Vertical or horizontal? Maybe vertical. It's not bad. I might do vertical. I don't use my vertical ones very often, honestly. All right. Let's do this one. Is that showing? Not at all. all my colors are buried. What is that one? Scorched Timber? That'll work. Table is a mess. Glue. All right, well, it's almost 11, so I gotta quit, but we got a little done. Not as much as I thought I would, which is typical. We're just gonna put this here. I know it's gonna cover some of the trees, but I think it'll be all right. I'm not going all the way over because I don't know how much the signature will cover once it's in the book. So we're going to go right there. That way it should feasibly show fine. Because this will get bulkier as we go. But that's good, I think. But anyway, I'll do some more on the bags because I don't want to do a whole bunch of the same thing. So I will decorate these other bags and all the other journals and show you what I did after. And then I'll decide if I want more closures or not more closures. And closures are kind of cool as long as they don't block off anything, you know, that you really want to see. But there's that and that, and then we have the transfer one there. And our pocket. So that is our project. I think it's cute. It's definitely got that fall feel to it. Put these in here for now. Actually, I should put this back in the template one if I can find it. I'll try to find it. It's somewhere around here. I lost it already. Anyway, I'll find that. I'll put everything up after because I'm not going to torture y'all with that. But that is our project, y'all. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. It's a fun little paper bag pocket. Lots of room to store. And that's it. All right, guys. I'll be back on... Gosh, I don't know what today is. I think it's Wednesday. Is it? I think it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, right? I'll be back on Friday. I should know because of what yesterday was, which we will definitely not talk about. All right, guys. That is our live. I hope you all enjoyed. I will see you guys on Friday, 9 o'clock. Until then, have a wonderful rest of your evening. All right, bye-bye.